additional requirements of reasonable grounds for search and seizure, presumed innocent until found guilty by your peers, and that the most fundamental right of all, personal responsibility for your own life and consciousness. That's what we were talking about earlier. We're big kids. You know, we can have a beer, we can, you know.
Going out and drinking beer, going out and smoking pot.
Yeah, it's our own choice. It's
Do
what
we
people
kill
choose
people
to
for
do.
pot? That's right. We should be able. And the other point. I mean, they're bringing up so many points. Search and seizure. They're bringing up urine testing. They're asking you to submit.
It used to be land of the free. Now it's land of the peeved, like Jack Harris said in his movie.
And Jack Harris also writes more about the urine testing in that earlier. Here they talk about, in 1955, the Supreme Court upheld that these intrusions into your individual privacy were constitutional, that they need to do this for our own safety.
And that's
to protect us from ourselves. Okay.
Sounds like Homeland
In
Security.
96, California passed a statewide people's initiative that won by 56% of the vote and legalized
Proposition
medical
215.
marijuana within the state. Also in 96, Arizona passed a statewide initiative by 65% of the vote that included medical marijuana, but unlike California, Arizona, their legislature and the governor, who's now impeached, can and have since rejected this people's law.
Yeah.
This was the first rejection by the legislature and the governor of any Arizona state initiative in 90 years. So the people said, here's what we want, and the legislature said, sorry. You guys, you can't make up your mind for yourself. We're going to help you, okay? So here, inside here, they talk a bit about the armed forces. They talk about privacy as a right. A right, your bodily fluids, that's your private business, okay? I'm just saying, when you're driving drunk and you have to do a breathalyzer, and okay, I understand that. You shouldn't be driving drunk, and you shouldn't be driving intoxicated in any way. If you're impaired when you smoke or take pharmaceutical medicine, that your doctor prescribes, or anything that you do, you just got to be responsible when you drive. That's a given. So they were talking here more about the inaccurate urine testing. You want to read something?
Sure. Military factory workers use marijuana urine tests are only partially accurate and do not indicate the extent of their intoxication. They indicate whether or only you have been in the presence of cannabis. See, so that is a real bad thing. And it also does only show that if you were around it within the last 30 days, which is very...
30 days.
So if you work at concerts, or if you work in places, maybe a medical facility where people are medicinally using cannabis, you could risk exposure.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. And I ask people out there all the time, do you ever feel like we're losing our freedom? Well, this is part of it.
Yeah.
John P. Morgan, MD, stated in High Times, February 1989, and in 2006, that the tests are far from reliable. Tampering and high rates of false positives, false negatives are common. And further, these testing companies are held to no standard.
Not
Dr. Morgan, who is against the test, says that the tendency to read the EMIT, which is the urine test for THC metabolites, tests below the detection limit. So one of the important reasons why the test has not confirmed is in published reports. For the first time in Milton, Wisconsin, high school kids were ordered to have urine test weekly to see if they smoked pot.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, that's totally unfair.
Can you imagine people trying to test your kids for stuff? Just the whole situation.
It's very Orwellian, as they say in Orwellian utopia.
Plus they do random searching.
Yeah.
It's sad.
We had random searching when I was in high school, actually, so I don't know.
Maybe they'll get those...
You grew up in the same area as me, so do they have random testing also at your high school? Like your backpacks, your locker?
Certain ones back east, they did, not the ones in California.
Well, the ones I went in California, they did. How about you back east?
Yeah, there was a few where the town cop would come in with his dog. Go down the lockers. That was in 87, 88.
How about the towns that couldn't afford the dogs? Did they do like we say on the last episode? Did they have the cops come around and smelt the lockers themselves?
Yeah. I think I smell pot in here.
Sleeping cops.
They paid them extra. They had vacation time. That was abundant.
We have extra sensitive noses.
We put them in the back of the truck too.
Yeah, the little Krispy Kreme
They
reward
were the
card.
Oreo brownies. Oh, wait, that was in
They're like, I smelled it in 3 lockers. They get 3 clicks on the cars.
Scooby snacks.
Scooby snacks.
We love, actually, I just have to say, we love our Lake County police enforcement.
We do love our police
agency.
enforcement.
Well, they protect us.
They are to protect
And they
us.
care. No, some of them are really awesome. You guys, to look at
Anyway,
Michelle.
Let's talk about some other things. Let's talk about this.
Are you kidding me?
Let's talk about some fun stuff. Fun
Fun
stuff.
stuff. I have a movie review, and I love this movie. It's
And
so
it's
wrong.
thumbs up.
Wait, who's at the door?
Ooh, maybe it's the pizza guy.
Maybe it's a leprechaun with some freaking gold.
We got a guest.
I thought you were done.
Hey, what's up, John? How you doing?
Hey, there's an extra seat over
We've
here.
been waiting for you.
There's an extra seat over here.
Yeah, okay.
We're ending it up.
Did you ever
It's
see
the
this
end.
movie, Role Models? This movie is so freaking hilarious. It's Sean William Scott and Paul Rudd. And let me tell you, if you like wrong humor, this is it.
It's not
It's
right.
so funny.
It's
I
funny.
swear to God, it's so good. So shout out Netflix, whatever you gotta do, you gotta watch this movie. And Paul Rudd, his birthday is, I think, coming up here in the next week. He turns 41.
So what's the
What
movie
else?
about?
It's not rated.
What it's about is about role
Not
models.
rated.
Role models.
It's not right.
Oh my God.
Okay,
Like
now I
heroes?
can't even tell you
Yeah,
what it's
like
about. You just
heroes.
gotta go get it.
You
It's
gotta
so
get,
great.
it's not rated, so that's
These
your
guys
first
get in
clue.
some trouble and then
It's
they have to be
super
role
raw,
models.
like our TV show tonight.
Ow!
We are
Check it out.
celebrating Earth Day because we are celebrationists, and that's what we do. We like to
And it'll be
celebrate
420.
Hello, John.
Woohoo!
Welcome to 420 to Buzz.
Oh, yeah. We're having fun tonight.
This will be our 420 show.
This is our
Yeah.
420 show, and you're the special knock on the door guest. We said
Knock on
whoever's
the
knocks
door,
on the door
yes,
should be the special guest. So
Mystery
welcome.
guest. Mystery guest.
It's surprise guest night.
Yeah.
He brought pizza in a bottle.
Yeah,
Yes, he did.
Exactly.
That's a cool bottle. Hey, so, do you have any interesting hemp ideas, news, or tidbits that you'd like to share with our viewers and us?
Can't wait till it goes a little wide.
Yes, we were just discussing.
We're just talking
seriously?
about how it's going to be on the ballot. Well, hopefully it is actually going to be on the ballot. What one of these news stories was saying is that the guy from Oaksterdam, who put up the $1 million plus to get to do this drive for the signatures to legalize marijuana, recreational marijuana use in California, got 700,000 signatures, and if the majority votes yes, in November, it's going to be legal.
Yeah.
It'll be in
Thanksgiving.
Go California.
Yeah.
They said individuals can possess up to 1 ounce and grow 25 square feet inside their house.
Okay, so it's a
Everyone
5 by
has.
5 area or
Awesome.
There's
a...
a lot.
Oh, cool. It's a freaking cute boys who's
Well, that's
You can only possess how many ounces?
Wait,
One
it's
ounce.
plants.
1 ounce.
1 ounce.
But that
That's
doesn't
a
make
step
sense.
back.
That's 1 ounce dry.
No, that's not a step backward because if you don't have to have the medical recommendation, it will be probably taxed.
Non-medical regulated.
This is
Yeah, but
recreational.
how are you gonna get enough medicine for everybody?
Let's say they eat
we'll
that
still
for
have
they
medical.
might eat
We'll
that for
still
breakfast.
have the
We'll
medical.
still have
start.
medical. We'll
Still
still have
have the
medical.
medical.
This is
Oh, okay,
personal
oh,
use.
okay,
recreational
okay,
use.
all right, great,
Personal
great.
recreational
As long as
use.
it doesn't
If
have
everybody's
medical
growing,
Yeah.
out. Otherwise, I kind of didn't, I'm in a better position right now
yeah.
without it being, legalized recreationally, but recreationally doesn't hurt people that are using it medically.
Right.
That's
It's-
great.
It's
Right.
different.
The way
And
I
that's the
understood
big
it, it
thing,
did,
really,
so.
because you want people to be able to use it medicinally first. I think that's the most important thing. Second, I think, just my opinion, the most important thing is the use of hemp and all of the things that I pointed out earlier, which is the oils, the fuels,
The clothes.
replacing the plastics, the fabrics, the papers, the ropes, the food, all of that stuff.
Huge
is-
industry.
1 acre of
Huge.
hemp, 4 acres of trees.
Now,
Right.
every
Amen.
person who wanted to have it, which we think is 40% in California, have their medical recommendation, but if all of those people and then whoever wanted to recreationally was growing 25 or 5 by 5 square feet in their house, that would be enough for you or whoever. I would imagine, I don't really know.
Not for me.
Okay.
And for people that do need it medicinally, what they need to start doing too, which I hope, is looking at more things like tinctures and more ways to concentrate it, because like if somebody has a really debilitating disease, it's hard to smoke that much
That's
cannabis
true.
for it to really take effect.
Yeah.
So when it's concentrated, it breaks it down. When I was doing my ice hash, a friend of mine that does mycology and botany and all this stuff was telling me that that ice hash has 15 times more potency than regular cannabis for that type of ice hash, because we had used a really good strain for the ice
You're
hash.
collecting on the trichomes.
Yeah, and that really helped a friend of mine that was going through chemo. So when he was, smoking the cannabis, it helped him somewhat. But when he would take the tincture that was made from it took a pound to make an ounce of the ice hash. So it's like that's how concentrated it is.
Yeah. Also with the foods, like the recipes we
I like it.
those help people a lot. I know, I watched on a public access channel in another country, this old ladies group, they were 70s, 80s, 90s, and they would get together every week and make a new cannabis dish. They would make quiches, lasagnas, and they all have their different medicinal reasons why they wanted to use it. It was beautiful.
And in Europe, the people that use cannabis live long.
Well, it only stands to reason if it aids you as a cancer patient, retards the cancer, what would it do in the concentrated?
Exactly.
It only stands to reason.
And the people that are using it, like, for instance, Rick Simpson, who does the Rick Simpson oil, he's 72 years old. He looks like he's 40. And he takes the cannabis oil, and some people it helps with their cancer. It helps solve, help cure cancer. But like he was saying, if you're healthy and you take it, it's gonna, plus your years, instead of trying to cure you from dying, it's gonna, give it extra years.
Hempseeds, all the hemp foods has omega-3s in it.
Oh yeah.
Major amino acids.
It's supposed to be the most nutritional seed.
It is.
That
Kurt gave
the
me
seed
a
is
bunch of
delicious.
Hempseed like 2 weeks ago. And I started to eat it, and my fingernails were splitting sideways. And I swear to God, my fingernails quit splitting. 2 weeks of Hempseed every day, like 2 big spoonfuls every day.
Yeah, the health food store in town
Not
sells
splitting
it.
anymore. Yeah,
It's good.
yeah.
It's good.
You can live on the seeds.
Healthy.
It's
It's healthy.
seeds and water.
Lots of protein.
It'll be really interesting when it is a step forward for the recreational, use too. Worldwide is even going to be better when we can get on an airplane and go wherever we want, with whatever we want. Because the American people, the way I feel, are so, we're in such a repressed state right now. Anything we can get our hands on to make into a viable business is what American people do.
Can you get us up,
I know
up and on our feet again?
Oh,
Yeah, it's a
yeah.
healthy, viable business.
That's what they also talked about in the Rolling Stone was the economy.
Yes, it was a big thing in the Rolling Stone.
Yes,
How we're going to make America better with
Yeah.
marijuana.
Go
I couldn't
green.
believe that. And Rolling Stone magazine, I couldn't believe it.
And all the farms that are sitting there with no work in them,
Hello,
and
let's grow
the
hemp.
clothing they could do, to replace the nylon for
Not just
everything.
clothes,
Because nylon is uncomfortable.
All fabrics,
Straight up.
everything.
Wearing nylon is uncomfortable.
Different
I can't.
fabrics are great for different things, but you really
The
can't.
cotton and hemp are the top comfortable clothing.
And mixing
how
the two.
rules.
is a
And
little
how
thing.
are those hemp boxers?
It lasts a long time.
We're all dying to know. We know you made a jacket for your
I need
puppy
a jacket for our dog.
And you're gonna have to re-sew my old pair.
with it. We don't want to know about that. And Jack Hare's boxers. Aren't they
Yeah.
Jack Hare's
Yes,
boxers?
Jack Hare's
They're
hemp.
not his, but they're
They're
his
his.
No,
brand,
his
yes.
brand.
They're all made out of hemp.
His brand, all hemp, and Dream Jeanie, our intern, made a little jacket for her doggy,
Chihuahua.
her little chihuahua, who gets chilly all the time.
He's small.
Silvio Dante, and he
He's not
looks
strong.
so,
And if you
so
want to see him,
cute.
go to his MySpace.
Yeah, he
Yes,
has his own MySpace.
yes, myspace.com/Silvio Dante. Right?
Yeah,
Yes.
he has
Do
his
we
own.
have some Canadian badly?
Yeah, Storm's being
Do
mad.
we
Yes,
have
we
that,
do.
Simon?
Do you have one?
I can't lie. This week I'm kind of looking forward to hearing.
No, I
story.
don't you have a
I'm
social
usually
hearing grabber?
mortified.
I don't.
Oh, I do.
I know you have one. Let's
Folks,
do yours.
you want to do mine?
Let's do yours.
This time?
Is it really bad? Do we need a paper
I
bag?
need a drink of water. Dude, these stories are so bad.
No.
And she's not going to divulge any names to protect the guilty.
The hella guilty.
Hella guilty.
Okay, if you're going to do business somewhere, do your farming on other people's property, whether it's indoors or outdoors. Be respectful, please. Don't be greedy. There's enough love in the world to go around.
Don't be ungrateful.
Don't be ungrateful.
How
Don't
about cleaning up your mess? when
clean
you're
up
done?
your mess. Wait, hello? How are you gonna
You don't
stick?
even know.
You don't even
How the
know.
messes we've cleaned up. Just the two
Take
of
care of
us
your
from
country.
people who grow. You think they're so awesome. They're growing these great buds, and then they leave their mess